Hey, did you know that in the original Bloody Mary ritual, you had to walk backwards up a flight of stairs?
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the purpose was to catch a glimpse of your future husband's face.
Really? I wish I could find my future husband that easily.
Honestly, all I really want to do now is drink a Bloody Mary.
Well, how about we go make some Bloody Marys while you tell me more fun facts about Bloody Mary?
Join us every week at Booze and Spirits,
where we make our favorite drinks and tell each other our favorite paranormal stories.
Find us under Booze and Spirits on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and Podbean.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Booze and Spirits.
I believe in the evil in human nature.
But she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Just like I would tell you, if you're going to do something, do it well. And leave something witchy. Leave a sign to let the world know that you were there.
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
And once again, we have no words to say. I was just telling Paula that I'm in a weird mood and I'm making weird jokes and noises and stuff. And as soon as we start recording, I just go quiet.
And we've been talking for 47 minutes. No,
Yeah.
more. Like an hour
Yeah.
on about life. And now we hit record and nothing to say.
Nothing.
Nothing. Oh my god.
Welcome back.
Welcome to Undercover Coven.
Welcome.
I'm Paula.
And I am Ale.
And we're coming to you from...
Our homes.
So today is officially your summer and my winter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I have a feeling it'll keep raining, though. It'll be a wet summer.
I have a feeling there's going to be snow.
Here in Canada, probably.
No, here in Chile, I think there's going to be snow.
Snow?
Yeah, I know it doesn't snow here, but considering how cold it's been, I think there's going to be snow.
Or some sort of slush.
Yeah,
Yeah, get it.
it wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
Well, last year everything froze. It was like actually snowing in Los Andes.
Yeah, true. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know, it'll be the coldest winter ever.
Maybe.
Maybe. So, we have a funny review we wanted to read. It honestly, it was very funny.
Yes.
It was very funny. Because it had a pun, and we like puns. So
We love puns.
puns are fun. See, Ali's in a weird mood. I don't know if you noticed, but she's in a weird mood.
Oh.
So this is coming from Collapsia Kid, but I'm pretty sure it's from another podcast, but I'm not sure which one it is. So if you are this person,
Please holla.
please holla, as Ali says. Holla.
We holla back. We will holla back. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just sleep
Something's-
deprived.
Probably.
Actually, yeah.
Probably. Okay, so Collapsia Kid wrote, "Undercovers indeed." You know when you get spooked and you need to hide all your limbs underneath a blanket? Well, listen to these gals and wrap yourself up tight as they proceed to spook you with something fierce. And we just loved it because it was funny. So thank you to that person who wrote that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Don't forget to holla.
Yes, holla at us.
Yeah.
I can't say things like that. I just don't sound.
There isn't that episode of Friends when
That's
Rachel
what I'm
is
thinking.
You go, girl. Oh, you tell him, girl, whatever.
I think
She's like, I can't
Monica
pull that off,
says,
can I?
"You go, girl." I can't say that.
And it was funny because then Charlie, later on the seasons, Charlie, which was Ross's girlfriend, she says something like that again too. Like she says something like Like, you go, girl. And she's, like, very nerdy. Like, she's, like, you know? And he turns around and he's like, you never said that in your life, have you? And she's like, no, not one time.
Yeah, so I can't say holla. It just sounds, I don't know, it just sounds weird. So
It's off-brand.
It's off-brand. Our brand is tired.
We're tired.
We're
Like, this is why I'm in a... This is... I'm just gonna be quiet for the rest of the episode.
So, I just wanted to tell you guys, I edit the episodes, and last week, I had to cut 6 minutes of us just saying, like, the stupidest things.
And me spitting.
You were spitting. I was snorting. I don't know.
You were snorting, and then I was choking, and so then I started spitting, and then I started laughing, and then I snorted, and then I started laughing even harder, and you had no idea what was going on.
I was like, are you okay?
Oh.
Okay.
Someday we should release, like, have you kept all this? Oh, yeah, because we have the full recordings. We should release, like, just bloopers.
Bloopers? Yes. Yeah. The other person we wanted to thank, as always, is Peter, who's been talking to us a lot on Twitter. So that's awesome. He recommended some great documentaries, and I really want to watch them.
Yes.
I just wanted to thank also the whole podcasting, like the indie podcasting community is so uplifting, and everybody on Twitter, like, you're like, oh, hi, I am a podcast. And they're like, woo, you go, podcast.
You go, girl. No, but they do. They're so nice.
Everybody's so nice, and everybody's, like, rooting for each other, and I just love that. I love when people are happy and uplifting.
I know, and they're...
Since I am not.
No, but, I mean... You know, I think we have enough trolling on the internet, just in general, not us. We haven't been trolled yet. We haven't reached that peak yet.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's enough trolling and just nastiness on the internet. So it's just fun to be part of a community that everybody just kind of holds each other's hands, and they bake rainbow cookies.
She doesn't even go here.
I'm dead.
Oh, no.
No, but seriously, like, everybody kind of, like, you know, everybody has each other's back, and just, like, everyone's super nice.
Yeah.
It's very genuine. Genuine? That's what I'm saying.
Genuine, yes. Yeah. Not to be confused with Genuine, the rapper? Hip-hop? Person? Somebody, okay?
Yeah, Paula doesn't know how to say hala, so.
I can't say hala. But hey, I rap. No, I didn't rap. I wrote a poem on this podcast.
That was slam poetry. Very different, honey.
Oh, true.
And I laughed, but it was good, so. Don't take my shit. Don't ever take my shit.
Ever. Okay, so the other thing we wanted to mention is that we are now on... I think it's coffee.com. It's KO dash. Yes. Yun.
Dash, yeah.
Okay. ko-fi.com/undercovercoven, and there, instead of being like a person on Patreon that you have to like subscribe every month to a certain amount of money, here you can leave us like a tip. It's like a buy me a coffee kind of situation, and that would be really cool since we kind of need the dollars.
That was cute.
The dollars. And yeah, we would be very appreciative of your dollars.
Yes.
The other thing, which is the amazing news that we tweeted about, is that Keith Raniere was the founder of NXIVM, which is a cult.
Which, if you want to hear about it, you should listen to our episode on it. It's called, what is it called?
Kent Clark's Friend and NXIVM.
Yeah.
Kent Clark's Friend and NXIVM is episode 5 or 6. I think it's 5. And yeah, we talk about NXIVM before the trial was starting. So it was like a while ago. But yeah, it's basically what's happening. And well, Keith Raniere was found guilty on all charges, including like child pornography, endangering minors, blah blah blah. But he was found guilty on everything.
Yeah.
And so now we have to wait for sentencing. But amazing news considering like everything that's happened. So yay, awesome.
Wasn't we already did an update that what's her name?
Allison Mack
was also found guilty, right?
I don't.
Did we?
I'm not sure if she was found guilty on all charges, but I know she was found guilty on some. I think it was about money. Being she was charged with fraud, and I think that was one of the things she was found guilty on. Yeah.
But now like Keith Raniere is like everything, like the branding a woman, the blackmailing, everything was
the sexual, the rape of multiple women, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we bring you an episode that's creepy. It's creepy, but it's like, I don't know, it's just weird. I learned
just
about this.
Fun facts and alleged creepy facts.
Yeah, I learned about this, and honestly, the movie, because this is about a movie, has never been the same again. Like, every time I watch it, I am just like, I think about these facts, and it's just creepy to me now. So, what movie are we talking about, Ale?
We are talking about The Wizard of Oz.
Hooray!
Hooray! You should put clapping here. And all of it's the dark truth behind The Wizard of Oz and the filming of it.
Yeah.
Life on set, yada yada yada. So
yeah. So if you've completely lived under a rock, then you probably know The Wizard of Oz. It's a movie from 1939. From MGM Studios, and it's probably considered like one of the greatest musicals ever. And it's an adaptation of L. Frank Baum's 1900 children's book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So, Judy Garland is the star of the movie. She plays Dorothy, and basically, it's well known because it was one of the first movies to use Technicolor. It was a movie in color. It was a great story. It had a great, Somewhere Over the Rainbow is like an iconic song. And
like
it's
instantly, it was a classic as soon as the movie came out.
Oh yeah, and it's like iconic in all sense in cinema history. So scary things happened on the set of the movie. Not like paranormal, but just weird, and honestly, it was the time. Like, we're thinking the 30s, it was the Great Depression. Shit was going down. Things happened. So, do you want to start on some of the things that happened?
Okay, I'm going to start with getting the one paranormal thing that I saw while researching this.
Sure.
Which was ridiculous because, of course somebody's going to throw that out there. Just to get it out of the way. Was that they said that the producers of MGM Studios, like the producers of the movie, and the Munchkins, they all had problems finding, maybe not the producers, but the Munchkins had problems finding work after the movie because they took part, listen to this, they took part on Pacts with the Devil before the production started.
Really?
But it was like half-assed, so the Munchkins like were cursed forever. So the film was cursed forever, and that's why all that shit happened.
Okay.
Very
I didn't
random. I
know.
was like, this doesn't have like pies ni cabeza. Spanish word of the day. No
Spanish phrase of the day.
Spanish phrase of the day. This has no feet or head. Because it's like, sure, whatever. I mean, everybody in Hollywood has pacts with the devil, so
That's like the most basic rumor you can spread
yeah.
on a movie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there was pacts with the devil. So
now it's cursed forever. But that's the
Yeah.
one paranormal thing that I found. Like, I just randomly came across it and I was like, okay, now this is getting a little too for my taste. But everything else is fucked up.
yeah.
So let's start with a light one, which is the lion suit. So
Sure.
the
Super
lion
light.
suit, super light. I mean, you just gotta hear whatever's next. The lion suit was actually made from actual lion hair,
Pelts.
skin, pelts. Yeah. And it was really heavy. It was heavy and it was hot. And the actor was really sweaty while filming. I'm talking that they were filming for 16 hours a day. And he was in the suit. He wasn't allowed, by the way, he wasn't allowed to eat while on the suit. Like, at all. Like, for 16 hours, he couldn't eat, he couldn't drink water because he could mess up the suit. But the suit,
Right.
he would sweat in it, and it smelled horrible.
Yeah.
The only thing that they kind of did to fix it was when he would take it out, they would, like, put fans on it to sort of dry it, but didn't really. So, technically, he was, the whole time that they were recording, he would get back into a sweaty suit, and it smelled like death.
Yeah. So, the actor, Burt Lahr, him and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow had to sit for 3 hours every day for makeup. And they were not allowed to, like, drink because obviously nobody wants to spend another 3 hours in a makeup chair.
Yeah.
So they could barely eat in the outfits they were wearing. And I just found this funny. The odd appearance of each character frightened people dining on set, but like in the studio that
Yeah.
weren't part of the movie, and people were like freaking out about these people, so they had to eat their lunch like in a corner. So they were just smelly and hungry and lonely actors in this movie, which is funny
it's not
and sad.
funny, but it's really funny.
Yeah, people treated them like, because can you imagine what, like, we're talking pre-Wizard of Oz. Okay, so
Yeah.
you see a man in a lion suit come in who smells like shit. You have a scarecrow come in, which is just horrible. And then a man dressed like a tin can.
Who couldn't even sit, actually. He couldn't sit or move in his costume, so he had to be standing the entire time.
And they were just like with their trays and their lunch. It's creepy.
It is creepy.
It's weird.
Oh.
But yeah, the Cowardly Lion, the actor, Burt Lahr, ew. Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And you're wearing like a lion. Just ew. Just no.
So apparently the suit got lost. It didn't get lost, but it kind of got left behind because nobody wanted it because it smelled bad and whatever. And
Obviously.
it ended up in an auction, and somebody bought it for like $2,000. Like years later, and now it's in a museum, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just in there, but like, like gross.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I do one?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so you started with something light. I'll go into something... I'll go into the next character.
Sure.
So, the Tin Man, Ray Bolger, was the first Tin Man. His makeup had aluminum in it. And he had a allergic reaction to the makeup. He was rushed to the hospital, and he had to recover in an iron lung in order to breathe.
Oh my God.
And he was poisoned. And he would suffer and complain of breathing problems for the rest of his life. Well, they had another actor come in, which was Jack Haley, and they, instead of powder, aluminum powder, they had aluminum paste. And it caused an eye infection for the new actor, Jack Haley. But you can still hear the original actor, some of his lines and his singing in the soundtrack. And that sucks, considering the amount of problems it gave him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, I guess I'll go with the next one. This is just.
But
like...
wait.
Okay,
I made a mistake. The Tin Man was Buddy Ebsen, not Ray Bolger. Ray Bolger was the Scarecrow. Okay, go on.
I was gonna say, so the Scarecrow, apparently, whatever he had on his skin to look like the Scarecrow, it actually caused him scars.
Yeah.
For a while, he had scars of the Scarecrow on his face and his body.
Yeah, so he looked like a scarecrow for the rest of his life, which is fun.
Always, you know.
Always. That's scary.
And it sucks because he is the one who asked the producers to switch over from the Tin Man, because he was originally set to play the Tin Man. Mm-hmm. And then he's a dancer, so he asked the producers to switch over to one of the characters that would let him move more freely, because he wanted to like properly dance and move around, right? But I'm thinking about it, he would have suffered no matter which character he would have played.
True. And the other thing is that the Scarecrow had a whole dance number that I saw on YouTube, actually. It's really cool. Yeah. He had a whole dance number that was completely cut from the movie.
Seriously?
And it really showed off Ray Bolger's dance ability. Like, he would move and he would, like, jump and cross his legs. He looked, like, very puppet-like, very loose.
Yeah.
And it was completely cut from the movie.
The hell?
So everything sucked for them. What else? Go on. You can do one.
Okay. So since we're talking about the costumes, Margaret Hamilton, so this is about her makeup. There's another fact about her. But Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, she was actually poisoned by the green, there was some toxic chemical on the green makeup that she had on her face. So apart from literally leaving her green for 2 weeks after filming, she, by mistake, because she was like getting put this on every day, she swallowed it. She swallowed some of it, and she actually got really, really sick, and just like gave her problems for, again, the rest of her life. I mean, she was putting on toxic things like on their faces, like.
Yeah. No, and because the makeup was copper based.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that's
it
what
left
it was,
her green, and she could only, after she was poisoned, she only could have a liquid diet, and she could only eat in a straw, like through a straw, because she was gonna get poisoned again. Mm-hmm. What else happened with Margaret?
Else happened with her? So
Margaret Hamilton.
She almost died on set. She was actually, so the scene when they're, okay, it's Dorothy. Dorothy had just arrived, and she's standing with Glinda. It's Glinda, right? With Glinda or Glenda? Glinda. With Glenda. They're standing on that little stage, and the Munchkins are around, and she's leaving or like disappearing on that cloud or whatever, like that smoke. She was burned. Like, her hair, I think it was the back of her head, caught on fire because of the pyrotechnics that weren't tested properly. And it literally, like, caught her head on fire, and she almost died on set.
Her broom, hat, and makeup caught on fire. Yeah. And her face and hands were really badly burned. Yeah. And her makeup was stuck to her face. And they had to remove it, like, very slowly, and how painful. Like, seriously.
Like, everything about this movie, like, effects about this movie are just completely irresponsible.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, she came back to work after a few weeks, but they had to do the scene again, and she was like, no. And they had a stunt double do it for her, who was Betty Danko, and when she did the stunt again, she got burned also. So
they didn't perfect it, they just left it how it was and hoped for the best.
Probably.
Idiots.
And on top of that, once again, most of her scenes were cut.
Yeah.
Because
I read
scary.
that too.
Because it was too scary.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I read
fun.
that too, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Poor Margaret.
I know. Margaret. And you know what? That I've heard that everyone was shit to Judy Garland on set, and she was the only one who was nice to her. Allegedly. Yeah.
So, let's talk about Judy Garland.
Yes, that's, the girl of the hour.
Judy Garland, Dorothy, amazing role. She was 16 at the time.
So, yeah, 16 or 17, something like that.
16, 17 at the time. And all the actors, not only her, but actors at the time, especially main roles, were mistreated and overworked. That's not like something new.
Yeah.
That we learned about. So they were often given cocaine, adrenaline shots, and
pills.
I can't say this word. Barbiturates, which were pills.
Barbiturics? Ah, dang it! I had it earlier when I heard it
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, barbiturates.
Yeah, something like that. So those are sleeping pills.
Yeah. And well, she was taking stuff before she got on Oz, but this one was just
her mom. She had a very
worse.
tragic life, and like her mom. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Well, on set, she had to take them even more frequently because this was like a big time movie that she was doing, and the alcohol and the barbiturates. That's when the addiction started, and that's what ultimately caused her death at 47 years old. 47 years old. She was so young.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that happened to her, which is horrible, I think even more so than this, was the amount of molestation that was going on.
Yeah.
I have a quote from Sid Luft, who her husband, from the memoir Judy and I, My Life with Judy Garland. So it says, quote, "They would make Judy's life miserable on set by putting their hands under her dress. The men were 40 or more years old. They thought they could get away with anything because they were small." So what he's talking about is that the Munchkins would molest Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Apart from the producers, but the Munchkins, it was a lot more. And that's just...
yeah.
It's horrible. And... yeah, they would, like, put their hands up her dress, and they would, like, touch her body in inappropriate ways and say things to her and things like that.
Yeah. It was really sad. Apart from, of course, like you said, like, the producers, they were, like, of course, they were abusing her sexually, and, like the director, there was a scene where she couldn't stop giggling because, it happens when you're like filming or whatever, and she couldn't stop giggling because something funny had probably happened, and she couldn't keep it together, and he just like went and slapped her in the face.
Yeah, it's the scene where she's talking to the Cowardly Lion, and then she slaps him. So when they were doing that scene, she couldn't stop laughing, like Ale said, and then Victor Fleming, the director, came and slapped her. And then I think that it's because of the rage she was feeling, like how she was being mistreated. But when they said action, next scene, she slapped the lion so hard, it was flawless. And that was the cut that came into the movie. And so you could watch it if you watch the movie. Yeah.
Wow. Well, apart from the pills, because they were saying that they were giving her, because they were working 16 hours a day. Non-stop, like they were overworking them, so they were giving her like adrenaline shots to keep her awake, giving her those sleeping pills for her to sleep when she had to sleep. They had her on amphetamines to keep her weight down because she needed to resemble a 12-year-old when she was 17, and they actually had her wear a corset, like a very, very tight corset, which she could barely breathe, to keep her, like, her boobs flat, like her chest flat, her boobs flat, but her chest flat. So it's just a lot of abuse, but I'm sure, I don't know, like, I feel like in those times she wasn't the only actress who was going through that, but it's just really scary to think that a 16-year-old girl was going through it.
No, obviously, and you look at another child star at the time, Shirley Temple, which she was like the biggest child star of the time, and that's what you had to compete with. Shirley Temple was being abused out of her mind as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's nothing new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the Munchkins?
Oh.
The Munchkins.
The Munchkins. The Munchkins, allegedly. So, they were drunks, gamblers. They were saying that apparently they would get so rowdy at some points that the police had to come. I found this funny. The police had to come and trap them with butterfly nets. To, like, arrest them and calm them down. I just imagine, like... I'm sorry. But yeah, they would, like, participate in, like, orgies and, like, gambling nights, and they would, like, get super drunk in the hotel room. Like, they were always smashed. Like, when they were offset. And, well, they were abusing Judy Garland. Of course, they were groping her, and they would grope each other. Like, they were very inappropriate. That's what they were saying. Like, allegedly, they were very, very inappropriate on set and offset.
Yeah, and the female Munchkins were also participating in sex work. So that's fun.
But think about it. They were only getting paid $50 a week.
Yeah.
Right? Because they were part of because we talked about this. None of them spoke English. They were part of a European traveling circus. Or something like that. And I think there was only one of the Munchkins was, he was born in the States, so he actually did the voice for every single line. Yeah. So the voices of the Munchkins that you hear it's one person who was the only Munchkin who spoke English. And what was I saying? Yeah, so they were just crazy. And like you said, they were getting paid only $50 a week because they were treating them like shit. So they were like, whatever, like, we're gonna...
No, and the other thing is that the majority of the Munchkins, the great majority of the Munchkins, were fleeing Nazi Germany. Like, when Nazi Germany was just starting. And so, obviously, they didn't speak English and things like that.
Okay, I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the other creepy, irresponsible thing that happened, but honestly it's not really their fault, but anyway, was that, you know, the scene where everybody is asleep in a poppy field and snow starts falling. The snow was actually asbestos fibers.
Which is why.
Is that okay? So it was used as the fake snow and also part of the costumes, and it was often used as fake snow from the 1930s to the 1950s. Not only in movies but also in people's homes.
Oh my god!
As decoration. So it wasn't until years later that people were like, "Hey, this is
bad.
Cancer in a can. So let's not use this." And, everybody was exposed to carcinogenics in everything. But especially in this part in the snow. Yep.
That's crazy. You know what? The 20s and the 30s, there were whack times. What the fuck?
Oh my god, yes. It's just that it was the Great Depression. Like, I don't think they were gonna... Like, for example, I was reading about the money in this movie, and we're talking about the Great Depression. Nobody had money. No. But this movie like for example, the scene that they cut from the Scarecrow,
Mm-hmm.
it was like a 5-minute scene, but it cost $1.4 million. And they just cut
You know how
it.
much money that is in those times?
I know. And they just like cut it, you know? So I don't know. These people were crazy.
It's MGM Studios. What else do you want?
True.
A bunch of crooks. Anyways. What are we next?
Oh, I was gonna mention the Auntie M. Annie M.
Oh, yeah.
Annie M.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so Annie M. We all know Auntie M.
Mm-hmm.
She was played by Clara Blandick, and as she aged, she developed arthritis, causing her to be in a lot of pain, and she was also going blind. In 1962, she overdosed on pills, and she was found with a bag on her head and a suicide note that says, "I am now about to make the great adventure. I cannot endure this agonizing pain any longer. It is all over my body. Neither can I face the impending blindness. I pray the Lord my soul to take. Amen." She was 81 years old. So that's sad.
That is sad.
Yeah. And did you know that The Wizard of Oz had 5 directors and 10 screenwriters? Insanity.
Actually, just found that out today.
I know. Insanity.
Yeah.
So there were 5 directors. Victor Fleming left at the end of filming to go film Gone with the Wind, which is now considered the best movie ever.
Yeah.
And the top grossing film of all time. Wait, no, that's Avatar.
Really?
No. It's not the top grossing movie. It's the top ticket sales of all time.
Okay.
It's not the same thing. And King Vidor, which was another director, was the one that put in the song "Over the Rainbow" in the movie, and it was almost cut from the whole entire thing.
What?
And Victor Fleming ended up with the credit for the entire movie.
The motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there were 10 screenwriters. Many were, I'm not going to name them all, but they were just replaced. And it was basically because of the musical numbers that they were replaced so much.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about bonus facts. Bonus facts. Judy Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli, married the Tin Man's son. So in 1974, Liza Minnelli married producer Jack Haley Jr. And then they split in 1979, but that's okay because Liza Minnelli had like 6 husbands. So that's okay. I forgive her.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the bonus fact number 2 is that we're talking about the book. But according to the book, the Tin Man was raised in Oz. He began as a human who worked at a lumberjack, and he fell in love with one of the Wicked Witch's servants, which was a munchkin. And to keep them apart, the witch put a spell on his axe so that he involuntarily began to hack off his own limbs. He replaced each limb with tin until he was completely made out of tin, hence the Tin Man. Except his heart, obviously.
Aww. Yeah, because he
That's-
cut off his heart because then he would have died. So
Yeah, but that's the part. Like, that's horrible.
that is horrible.
He cut off his own body parts and
What
replaced
the
them with
fuck?
tin. Okay, and let's end with a happy note. And we're going to talk about Toto the dog. Toto. I love Toto. Okay, so Toto was... I'm going to start with something bad. Toto's paw was broken. But then he was okay. Terry was the name of the real dog, which is a terrier. And
it was broken on set. We forgot to say. One of the actors stepped on his paw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. And Terry was the female dog that played Toto. And she was paid $125 a week. More than the Munchkins. More than the Munchkins.
Yep.
And the dog, Terry, went on to play 15 roles in her lifetime. And I just think that's amazing. Like, Terry is a bigger star than the majority of the people in the movie.
That's true. That's
so fun.
Cute. Oh.
Yeah, that's what we have on The Wizard of Oz. It's an insane story, but I promise you, now that you know everything that happened, the movie just looks different.
Yeah.
Everything...
we had, I guess, the Munchkins, like the Munchkin death. Did we say that?
Oh no!
We didn't talk about that.
The most important
But that's like
one.
the most known one. Yeah, that's like what triggered all of this, probably. But so okay. So there's a scene when they're going to see the wizard. They're walking
the wonderful
away.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. So they're dancing. This is when they find the Tin Men, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, and they fight the whatever with the apples, like the
trees?
crows, the trees with the apples. Yeah. So then they take off through the Yellow Brick Road, and in the back, while they're dancing by the house, in the back you can see. So in the original version, we're talking about like the tape, like VHS version, you can see a thing, like a black thing, hanging from in between the trees.
Yes.
In the back.
Right
and
in the middle.
You can see it swaying back and forth, like right in the middle, swaying back and forth. So then they came out saying that, oh, no, it's because they filmed it at a zoo or whatever, and it was a bird, like a big bird. So then on the remastered version, when it was the anniversary, they fixed it up, and you can clearly see that it's a bird's wing going like this to the left.
She is opening her arms because people are not watching you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like going like, oh, it's like it's opening its wings. It's very different. If you look at both tapes, it's very different because with the wing you can see it going on top of the 3 trees and like connecting them, let's say. And the other thing, it was completely different. It was one thing swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
From in between the trees. So it's like you can't. You can fool us.
Yeah. So what that was that a Munchkin committed suicide on set and made it into the movie miraculously.
Yeah.
And now he is known as that thing swinging in the middle of the trees. But that's just, I think, that's what triggered the whole conversation that we had. That was like, this movie's creepy.
Yeah. And it's just like a whole bunch of shit that happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Also, I read a theory. This is just like one of those conspiracy theories. It's nothing factual, but it's just like something to think about. So, okay, if you look at everybody in the movie, we're talking about the lion, the Wicked Witch, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow. Everybody is, or even the wizard, they're people around her that she knows or she saw before she fell unconscious or whatever, right?
Right.
So the Good Witch looks like Auntie M, but it's not the same actress. So she's the only one. Like, they could have just made the actress play the Good Witch, because at the end of the day, like, that would have been her Good Witch, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. And then they say that it's because they wanted the witch to look younger, like younger than Annie M looked. Which is funny because she was older than the actress that played Auntie M. And she looked younger than that. So what they're saying is that, okay, so when Dorothy comes, she drops their house on the Wicked Witch of the East.
Mm-hmm.
And she grabs the slippers and she gives them to Dorothy. Dorothy asks her how she can go home, and she sends her on this freaking mission to go see the wizard, because the wizard will send her home. So when they get there, right? At this point, okay, one of the witches is dead. They get there, they defeat the Wicked Witch of the West on the way. They get there. I'm melting. You know that I read somewhere that one of the monkeys actually, I don't know if it got injured or died. One of the monkeys that they had, because they had real monkeys and they had like the fake ones. But I don't know how true that is.
Those monkeys are terrifying.
They are terrifying.
Anyways,
they defeat the Wicked Witch. And then they go
the West.
They go to the wizard, they unmask him, and he's no longer the wizard because he was a lie the entire time. Right? So then the Good Witch shows up and tells her, oh, you could have gone home this entire time. It's just in your shoes. So she makes her close her eyes and tap her heels together, and behind her on the seat,
like home. There's no place like home.
And right behind her, you can see Glinda going like this with her wand right behind her, like sending her back. Right? So the theory is that Glinda wanted to be the queen of all the land. She wanted to reign the whole land. And to do that, she needed to defeat everyone else.
Right. The Wicked Witch of the East and the Wicked Witch of the West and the wizard.
Exactly. So she would have been the last one standing. But she couldn't do it on her own. She couldn't do it herself because that wouldn't look good in front of the Munchkins, which is all of the residents of Oz. Except for whoever lives on Emerald City, which doesn't really count. Whatever. So she sends Dorothy. So what they're saying is that she brought Dorothy, and she's the one who dropped the house. It wasn't Dorothy who just fell out of the sky. She brought and she dropped the house on the Wicked Witch of the East. Sends Dorothy to technically kill everyone else.
Right.
And then when she comes back, the shoes weren't actually magical. She's the one who sends her back.
Exactly.
So she was actually not a good witch. She was actually evil.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. It's a funny theory, but it's good.
I believe it.
Right?
And in my opinion, I don't know, it just makes sense. It's just weird that they didn't have the same actress. I don't know, but it's just, I just find it, like, reasonable. Yeah. It's not crazy. It's not like, oh, they made a pact with the devil and now everybody's cursed. No, it's like legit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun.
I know.
I think that what's it called? Oh my god, what's the other movie called? Oh my god, I am such a bad Michael Jackson fan.
Oz? I think it's called Oz, no? Wait.
No.
He played the Scarecrow.
I have the song in my head and I can't remember. Wizard of Oz, Motown.
It was with Brandy and somebody else.
The Wiz!
The Wiz.
The Wiz. Okay, The Wiz is much better than the other movie. Yeah. But that's just because the music is better. But obviously it's another time. It's the 70s, whatever. Yeah. But I just have the song stuck in my head. Instead of, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard. I have, come on in, ease on down the road. It's just much funkier. But I understand.
I actually never seen that movie.
You have to watch the old one. The one with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross and...
I thought that was the only one that existed.
No, there's two. The one you're talking about with Brandy and everything, that's the modern one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. No, but the Wiz is like more...
Oh, more yeah, legendary. Brandy wasn't famous until the 2000s, so you're right. 90s, 2000s. Okay, great.
This was the 70s, Michael Jackson was still black. And I can say that because I am a fan. And I have a tattoo of him on my arm. Yeah. So I am a fan. I can say that. It's like when people talk about Latinos and they're like, oh, I can say that. I'm Latino.
It's okay. I can say that.
Yeah. No, this was the 70s.
Okay. Isn't this the one movie that his dad didn't want him to do, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyways because you don't control me."
Yes,
that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He said, "You don't control me, bitch. I run my life."
Yeah,
that's a quote. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I can say that I was there.
I can say that I'm a fan. Yeah, this is honestly like The Wizard of Oz. It just changes the whole perspective of the movie to me, and yeah. I'm happy we did this. It's honestly creepy, and it's backed up and like by facts, and you know, you can watch a lot of these things on YouTube videos, but like more like for example, when I told you watch the video of the performance from the Scarecrow that was cut, because it's great. They should have kept it in the movie. It's so great.
Yeah, that wasn't fair. That sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't fair for anybody. Like, everybody suffered. Even the dog suffered. So
I know.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everything was horrible for everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, ready to end this episode? So, you can find us on social media at Undercover Coven, on Twitter and on Instagram. And remember that you can support us on ko-fi.com, ko-fi.com/undercovercoven. And you can email us undercovercoven@gmail.com. Please send us an email, send us a little message. Please rate and review. Oh my god, something flew right past me. You can rate and review. You please rate and review. You can do it. You don't have to do it, but please do it. Rate and review. And yeah, we will see you next week with another thing. We don't know yet.
Something else.
But it'll be something fun.
Yes.
Anything you want to say before we say bye-bye?
Not really. Oh, did we say happy birthday to Liz?
We suck. Happy birthday, Liz.
Happy birthday.
Liz is from We're Not Sure Yet. It's the first thing I have on the board. And I didn't say it. Okay. Liz is from We're Not Sure Yet. They're another great podcast. It's actually the podcast that inspired us to start our podcast. So happy birthday to her. I hope you had a great time. And yeah.
Yay.
Yay. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Oh my god.